In this video, we will go over part 1 of the CNC class for FatCatFabLab. This will go over the CAD and CAM processes needed for the CNC class, and this would act as a prerequisite for part 2. All of our classes and events could be found here on our website. If you scroll down, you would see the CNC course located at the bottom. This would give you additional information, as well as any prerequisites that are required. This is where you can see any available seats for the next course and register. Members of the FatCatFabLab will have access to the member portal, which will give them additional information about the CNC as well as about the lab. After the completion of this course, members will be able to use the portal to reserve a spot for the CNC, and if you're not a member, you can use our meetup open hours. After inputting your credentials and signing in, you can find the resource calendar located at the bottom of the navigation sidebar. Use the resource calendar to view openings for the CNC or laser cutter, as well as reserve your spot. You can reserve a time slot by clicking Add Content or Reservations. From here, you can input a name so that others know who is reserving the spot, as well as put the date and time. One thing to note is that if you need to reserve the CNC or laser cutter for 2 hours, make sure to put the ending time to be 1 minute before the hour, as shown above. In the bottom, make sure to select the machine you're going to reserve, and then confirm everything's correct and save. You can view the confirmation page to make sure that everything is correct. And after closing out, you should see your reservation on the calendar. Another resource that members can find on the portal is a link to our wiki. From the main page of the FatCatFabLab's wiki, you can scroll down and see classes. Clicking the CNC class, you will see additional information regarding the class itself, as well as another link that would bring you to the CNC Router's resource page. This page will give you additional information on the CNC, including all the specifications, the max feeds and speeds that we'll go over later in this course, as well as additional links and resources that we'll go over later in this course. In this course, we will be using VCarve Pro as our CAD and CAM software. In order to use VCarve Pro at home, you will need to use our Makerspace ID. You can follow this link here to download the trial with a PDF that explains where to input the Makerspace ID. So let's get started by opening up VCarve Pro. In the home screen, you can find sample files that would help walk you through working on various projects. Part of these sample files includes a learning path, which goes over the basics and shows you a video and steps along with the sample file. From the videos, you will be able to open the sample project, but you can also navigate to the sample project here. To get started on the CAD portion of this course, we're going to create a new file and set up the project. The first option in Job Setup will ask you what is your job type. In our case, we'll choose single-sided, as double-sided is more advanced and rotary requires additional equipment. The next, we would input our job size. Our job size refers to the material that we are going to cut, which is referred to as a stock. Here, you would input the width and height of your piece, which is referred to as the X and Y axes. The thickness, or the depth of your piece, will be determined by the Y axis. The next option is going to be the Z0 position. This is going to determine where Z0 is relative to your stock. Either it's going to be in the machine's bed or the material surface. In most cases, we would choose the material surface. Similarly, it's going to ask you what your XY datum position is relative to your material. Just make sure that whatever position you choose here, you're going to orient that same position when you're setting up the machine to cut. The model resolution setting is a visual preference on the quality you would like to see your piece. And the material setting is the material of the stock that we would see later in this course. After confirming all the settings in the job setup, you would now be brought to the Drawing tab in the 2D view. This is the workspace that represents our stock, and this is where we're going to begin drawing vectors for the CAD portion. So let's get started by creating some vectors for the CAD portion. In this case, I'm going to choose a rounded rectangle and play with the settings to get the size right. After creating the rectangle, we could then use the Move tool to manually move the piece to the center of our stock. We can move this manually, or if we needed to get the vector to be perfectly centered to the stock, we can use the Align tool. This Align tool allows you to choose Align to the center of the material, and it would automatically move anything you have selected based on the settings here. Another thing to note is that you can use these guidelines by clicking and pulling off of the ruler to show where you may have clamps. Clamps will be used to attach the stock to the CNC bed. So you can use these guidelines as an indicator of what area you should not go past, keeping in mind that the tool's thickness can't go in that area either. The next thing we're going to create is some text. Using the Create Vector tool, we could type in whatever text we want, edit the font, edit the alignment, as well as the size. After getting the font exactly how I want it, I can use the same Align tool we used earlier to align the text to the center of the material. Seeing that there's additional space above and below the text, we can then edit the rectangle around it. Make sure that whatever size you choose would allow for the CNC routing bit to be able to fit between the spaces. In our case, the diameter of the bit I'm thinking of choosing is 1/4 inch, so we can use the Measure tool to see if there's a 1/4 inch gap between the letters. In this case, we seem to be just above a 1/4 inch. To visualize how the tool would move through the space, we can draw a circle with a diameter matching the tool that we're thinking of choosing. And as you can see, as I move this tool, or this circle representing the tool, you can see if that diameter is able to fit right through that space, then that should be okay. Keep in mind, as this routing tool cuts around the corner, it would never be able to get the inside face of a 90-degree angle due to the fact that the tool is a circle and the radius would always be missed. You can move this circle around your vectors just to get an idea of how the machine will move the routing bit and verify that it's able to get to all the spaces you want. And to finish the CAD portion, we might want to create a border so that maybe we're going to cut the outside fully, and then we might want to cut only between the outer border and the text and leaving the text raised. So we can do that a couple ways. Either we can copy the rectangle we already have placed, and then paste it in the same spot. And then we can go in and edit the size, the height and width of that rectangle. And depending on your design, this offset from the corner might not be exactly what you want. So instead of copying and pasting, we can use the offset tools, tell it to offset inwards to a certain dimension. Keep in mind that we chose a 1/4 inch offset, so if a 1/4 inch curve was to be offset inwards, it would hit a point. This is why the inside face is a right angled rectangle as opposed to the curved outer edge. But this is good for this design. So the goal here is to use the outer vector to cut the entire piece out, and use the text as well as the right angled rectangle to tell the machine to only cut between these two pieces, leaving the text raised. After getting the vectors exactly where you want it, you should save your project. This is going to conclude the CAD portion of part 1 of the CNC course.